more about that.
Well, so I was talking to someone who's privy to discussions at one of the largest oil firms in the world, and he was just sort of saying, well, how many wells in the Gulf are as productive as this spill of this output of this current well appears to be, and it's just a handful. And so it seems clear that BP, struck it rich here, except that they totally botched it, and now we've got a dirty bomb that's going off every day in the Gulf, and we don't really have any surefire hope of getting it sealed up until August, September, October. No one seems to be able to answer exactly what the probability of getting these relief wells drilled and sealed off appropriately is. It seems likely that it's going to happen eventually, but no one seems to have a very high level of confidence it's going to happen on the first try or the second try or the fourth try. I think when they tried to do this in the East Timor Sea, it took 10 tries, and that was in shallow water. So this is a problem that's not going away anytime soon.
Tim Dickinson, we want to thank you very much for being with us, political correspondent for Rolling Stone magazine and author of RollingStone.com's political blog called National Affairs. During our trip to the Gulf region, we went to Grand Isle, and we looked at all of the different issues, talked to many different fishermen who'd been told that they've been, well, let me just say, we wanted to play a clip for a minute of a fisherman named Glenn Swift. We've played this before, but Juan, I didn't get to talk with you about it. It's very interesting. This fisherman in Louisiana, who was told that if he signed a contract with BP, he would be able to get paid. He just couldn't talk to the press if he did. This is Glenn. In the contract that they signed to get paid, that the fishermen signed to get paid, they're not allowed to speak?
Right. Well, it says that it's grounds for termination of employment.
Have you seen that on the paper?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Who showed it to you?
They actually gave us a contract that we signed. I'm not sure, but maybe that contract's been done away with, but I don't know.
Did you sign it?
Yes.
So why are you talking to me?
I don't feel it's the right thing to shut somebody up, just because you're working for them. You're supposed to live in the United States, and you're supposed to have freedom of speech.
That was Glenn Swift. Glenn Swift, who now says that after they signed these contracts that we have copies of, he received an amended copy of the BP contract that removes the provision barring cleanup workers from speaking to the media. BP didn't amend the contract until more than a month after the Deepwater Horizon rig explosion. But clearly the tone had been set. When we met with Dean Blanchard, the seafood entrepreneur, one of the biggest seafood industries he runs in Grand Isle, we went up to fishermen who had contracts with BP, and they were terrified to talk to us, though clearly they were incredibly frustrated with BP. And another issue is when it came to the safety of the workers, many of them said that they were told that they could not wear masks. And you know your work from 9/11. They actually couldn't wear masks because it would look like the situation was dangerous, and they desperately need money from BP, but so they weren't going to risk losing their jobs.
And of course, now many of the people working out there are getting sick as a result of the lack of safety provisions. And well, it goes to show you. I mean, BP now has Dick Cheney's former spokesperson as their director of communications. So I think that they've learned from the previous administration how to botch public relations.
And when BP's Tony Hayward was asked about the chemical contamination of fishermen in the hospital, he said he didn't doubt that people were sick, but maybe it was because of food poisoning. Yes. To which Dean Blanchard responded, the seafood distributor in Grand Isle, whose business is just, to say the least, going down the drain, said, then why are they confiscating the clothes of the fishermen as they go into the hospital? They're not testing for food poisoning. They're testing for chemical contamination.